And welcome, folks, inside the Ohio Health Easton Chiller Center as we are getting ready to bring you the last game of Division II women's hockey of the day. And this one will have North Dakota State Bison up against the Loyola University of Chicago Ramblers. Each of these teams lost their first game in pool play, as it was Assiniboine who beat North Dakota State yesterday by a score of 6-1, while Loyola was able to knock off Delaware was able to knock off Loyola 5-1. So these two teams hoping to cling to life here in this national tournament. They need a win here tonight to be able to keep those hopes alive. Folks, we're going to go ahead and turn it over to the public address announcer for the introduction of the starting lineups and the national anthem.
Number 6 ranked team from the West region, the Loyola University Chicago Ramblers. And on the home team bench, the number 4 ranked team from the West region, the North Dakota State University Bison. First, let's meet the starting lineup of the visiting team bench, the Loyola University Chicago Ramblers. At right defense, a junior from Orange, Connecticut, number 3, Caitlin Early. At left defense, a junior from Eagan, Minnesota, number 19, Hannah Berger. At right wing, a sophomore from Edina, Minnesota, number 22, Sophie Riel. And left wing, a sophomore from Hampton, Massachusetts, number 14, Riley Holman. At center, a junior from Amherst, Massachusetts, number 10, Chloe Zinter. And in net is freshman from Park Rapids, Minnesota, number 1, Julia Smith. Starting lineup for the home team bench, the North Dakota State University Bison. At right defense, a sophomore from Coon Rapids, Minnesota, number 4, Alyssa Hansen.
That's as cute as they had last night.
At left defense, a senior from West Fargo, North Dakota, number 3, Courtney Ospike. At right wing, a freshman from Elk River, Minnesota, number 20, Rachel Torres. At left wing, a freshman from Fargo, North Dakota, number 10, Rachel Johnson. At center, a sophomore from Fairmount, Minnesota, number 7, Logan Cole. And in net, a senior from Roselle, Minnesota, number 1, Bridget Slater. Head coach for the Bison is Bobby Young. Ladies and gentlemen, all the stars and Tigers football captains playing the Star Wing event.
Get outside year round.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here as the Loyola University Ramblers getting ready to tangle with the North Dakota State Bison here. Both teams with relatively small benches, so that kind of negates that benefit for either way, as Julia Smith will get the start tonight in net for the Ramblers. She got 37 of 42 shots in last night's loss to Delaware. Meanwhile, for North Dakota State, they will go with Bridget Slater. She got 42 of 48 shots in the 6-1 loss last night against Assiniboine, and we saw her. She was actually a very good netminder. Without her in there, potentially could have been a lot worse for her squad, but they did drop the game 6-1, and Bridget, though, will get the start tonight. The two teams finish their last-minute huddles, come to center, get ready to come to center ice, as this is our last game of pool play in day 2 of the ACHA Division II Women's Tournament. One more day to come, and there's some big games tomorrow to help determine who will be playing exactly in the Final Four spots. We only have one of the 4 determined for sure, as Minot State has advanced out of Pool B, as they have 4 points already. Their next closest competitor has 1, so obviously that cannot be caught. Outside of that, though, we're pretty much still looking to see how it's going to break down. And we are underway here as the Bison are going to throw the breakdown and try to clear it around to the far side. Over there to grab it is Dorf. She's got good speed. She'll gain the line. Move to the middle. Now back to the forehand. Backhand, forehand. She's wiped out and she scores! Early goal by the Bison. And I believe it was the trailer, Logan Cohn, who put it in. And it's 1-0, 22 seconds in. What a start to this one here for the Bison, as Logan Cohn held off the score sheet yesterday. She'll get her first point of the tournament, or the first point and first goal of the tournament. Time of the goal, just 22 seconds, and the Bison are off and running. Face off right back to center ice. Trying to protect, and now they're working around to the near side. O'Brien tried to duck underneath, and that's going to be ducked into the far side corner. Yep, it's going to be Cohn from Dorf, and now another rush and a long shot on by Hansen is going to just be held by the netminder Julia Smith. And that'll be a face-off. So the Cohn goal, as we said, was assisted by Dorf. Dorf also getting the first goal of her first point of this postseason. Off the draw, bouncing puck, going to be kicked into the corner, and now going in after it here. This is going to be the Bison's forward, Preskowitz, and that's going to be held off and grabbed, and a choppy start to this one that has included a goal so far in the first 51 seconds. We'll face it off again, and there's another shot on, and that's going to be gloved off again, as Julia Smith getting a workout here in the first minute. And a third save already here. Or excuse me, that's going to be her second save. Third shot, 1 goal against. As clearly, and now they're going to make full sail line changes after 3 straight face-off wins, and they're all put towards the net. And they did jump it to 4 shots, so 3 saves. And let's see what happens on this ensuing draw. This one is going to be won by Loyola, and they will get it out at least as far as center, and a good play by O'Brien to do that. It's sent back towards the line. They try to direct it in. They were unable to get it deep. Where the Bison, a centering pass there, didn't connect, and now the Bison will look to turn and bring it right back in. That is number 10, Rachel Johnson, moving in, inside, outside move, and that shot didn't miss that far post by much. Hansen will come down the line and force it in further. Now Schultz has it below the goal line. Schultz looking in front, switching off, sends one rink wide. Winding and firing a shot that was saved or never got through. Rebound and a pileup in front of the net. And they finally break apart, and Loyola is just going to take this opportunity to ice it, as the Ramblers needed to relieve the pressure. And the icing waved off there. Not really sure why the icing was waved off, but we will play on. With speed, trying to get in wide is Hansen. Looking to cut to the middle, she does. And a backhand shot, that's going to whiz just wide. Rebound comes around to the near side corner. Back out to center ice, where it's going to be stabbed at. Trying to get it deep there was Fisher. Follow-up comes by way of Coleman, though. Riley Coleman got it into the offensive end. Now at center ice, Bergrum. Jets lost, turned over here, and Loyola's netminder. What a play by Smith to come out, knock one away. At center, that's going to just be shot in on the delayed offside. Hansen has it, and we play on. It was the shot, I should say, by Hansen that got on goal. It's turned over there, a shot, and an easy save for Julia Smith, as it's been all Bison here in the early going. We are still in the early going. We are 2 minutes and 27 seconds into this one. Face off in the far side circle. It's going to end up into the far side corner, and now it's going to be dug out by the Bison, thrown on, and that's just going to be stuck into the near side corner by Smith. Tapped off the near side wall, doesn't have enough to get out, and then it's just going to be jammed right back in deep by the Bison. I believe that was number 3 getting it in there. That's Low Speech. Little move, dangerous play in front of our own net by O'Brien, but it does get out. Puck to the middle of the ice, glove down, and I believe, nope, no hand pass on the call. This is going to be brought in. Onside play, trying to get wide, is going to be number 4, who is lacking a spot on our roster. So we'll have to see if we can clarify who number 4 in black is. Lead feed finds its way through. Trying to cut in wide here is Cone. Cone lowers the shoulder and tries to get to the middle. It's backhanded on in, and Cone's just going to chase it around, but the Ramblers able to gain control, and they send it out to center ice. Circling there is Dorf. A couple of passes later, trying to get on through was Cone. She scored the goal earlier in this game. Back at center, it's just going to be shot in by Hansen. Played in and around. A little bit of time and space here for Early to be able to make a play below the goal line. It's turned over, though. The Bison keep the pressure on. Winding up, firing, and that shot was blocked. Another shot on. That's going to be redirected in, and a shot in tight, and a great opportunity there as Presquez was unable to finish that. All Bison here is Hansen now with an opportunity. She's going to go ahead and tip it in. Doesn't get deep, and it's going to carry him out to center where Johnson has it. Johnson going to go ahead and fire it in. Trying to catch up to it as Early. But the Ramblers get a cycle going into the far side corner. It's going to be lifted to the middle. That was read and intercepted. Backhanded in further by 11 O'Brien. Maureen O'Brien. And they drop it away from her as the Ramblers will now, or excuse me, that was 11 Mackenzie Schultz on the steal. The Ramblers tried to clear it around the near side. Doesn't get out on the first attempt. Puck's just going to kind of roll gently through the middle. And now they will look to break out was Bergrum. That was stolen in a drive. And what do we got here? We're going to get a penalty coming, a high sticking call is upcoming. And that's going to move the face-off down. Should move it down the ice, as I believe it's going to be a penalty. Yeah, it's going to be a penalty to number 11, Maureen O'Brien. Or excuse me, number 11 is Mackenzie Schultz. Got to make sure you're looking at the right roster. Believe me, in a tournament like this, you see a lot of rosters, but this is Schultz going off for high sticking. Time of this call is going to be the 4-minute and 27-second mark. So it'll be a power play for Loyola. They really could use one here after the rough start to this game that's been pretty much all Bison thus far. They work the right side of the rink so far. They look to move it to the middle, and they do. Now it's a touch pass on over. Looking to step into one. A shot save was made. There was traffic there, and another shot save was made. Reagan Lynn had both of those opportunities. It's moved to the top of the crease, and now it's going to be cleared away by the Bison. Here they come, out to center. Trying to cut on through, but tropped on down there was Dorf. She's had good speed. We saw that all day yesterday. Low Speech fires it up ahead. It was deflected by Dorf. Didn't need to, though, because on the penalty kill there would have been no icing. And it's brought on back. This is 9 in black, Whitney Knight. Gets in wide. Whitney all the way around the cage. Knight looking for a place to put it. Top of the circle. Shot on there. It was in and out of the glove of the netminder Slater. Rebound gets punched back into the quarter, and now a good follow-up here by Coleman. Loyola finding a little something going on the man advantage. That got poked away as trying to keep it in was Knight, and now we're going to get a foot race here. Back this way, bringing it in. Rachel Johnson's got it. No pass to the front of the net, so she's just going to carry it all the way around. She's got a trailer coming in off the bench, and instead she's just going to take more time off the clock and feather it in a little bit further. Good job here, shorthanded, to get good time coming off the clock. Knight's going to come back and grab it, play it around the back side of the cage, and Loyola and the Ramblers will look to bring it up. Through the Blue Jackets logo, they gain the center ice line and a shot there. That missed short to the far side. It was let go by Bergrum. There's a shot on, and the rebound, or the carom, I should say, after the save, just rolled up over the net. Sends on back to the point. It was kept for a moment, but then it got out to center off the stick of Bergram. Trying to fire it in there was Caitlin Early. With 7 to go in the man advantage. Shot on down, it's going to roll into the near side corner. Help comes in deep, and a nice save there as forcing the play was Bryn Fisher. Loyola picks one up off the far side boards, kicks it ahead, and trying to dart on through was Radal. She could not. And it stays at center ice where it's just going to be played on back by number 47, Holzberg. Loyola will try to get it in on the far side, and that's just going to be backhanded around. I believe that was Michelle Cottrell. Puck in front of the Bison bench. It's going to be sniped on down. It's going to be no icing here as Cone has it. She's taken into the boards. It's 2-a-side do battle. Dug out and won by the Ramblers, but an interception there. A little bit of a bump off. You got it, I take it, as it's laid around the cage. Knight's got it below the goal line. Looks around, tries the near side. It doesn't have enough to get out as it's held in closely by number 3, Low Speech. There's a play to the middle. That didn't connect. And an outlet pass is going to get to the line. They try to clear it out, and finally they do tap it out. Pass number 11, Mackenzie Schultz. But the Bison will look to bring it right back in. They tip it in, but a little bit of time and space now for Knight. She'll play it off the boards. Wanted to lift the stick to move on. She could not. Follow-up comes nicely here by Presquaz. Now it's deflected away, and now it could be a 3-on-1. They move it in and over the line. Bergram with it. A shot, and that was blocked off on a good defensive play there. I believe that was Low Speech making it. Low Speech now sockers it over to defense partner where it'll come to the line. Johnson couldn't get it out. Looking to Pross. There's a throw to the middle, and a doubly deflected, triply deflected, and look at this. It's going to come all the way out to center. It's going to be knocked away and brought in. They move in. Dorf, a chance, and a glove save. Great job as Dorf had an end-to-end rush in all alone from the red line. But a good job there by the netminder Smith to keep it out, and we are still at a 1-0 game with 11:55 to go in period number 1. Face off into the near side corner. It's battered around the boards and trying to get it out on the far side there is going to be Lynn. It does not have enough to get out. Now it's played down through the middle of the rink, and this is going to carry them all the way down the ice. Not enough for icing, though, and turning with it is going to be Johnson. A couple of passes later, it's going to be kicked ahead, and now just carried on over the line by Hansen. She actually couldn't get over to it, so Holzberg reverses flow. Hansen on back. She'll get it right back. Tapped it off the boards, and unable to pull it in was Fisher. And that split everybody, and this should be and will be an icing call as we have run 11 minutes and 14 seconds still on the clock, I should say. Shots on goal 6-3 in favor of the Bison, scoring 1-0 in favor of the Bison. Offensive zone faceoff also now for the Bison, as settling in to take it will be 16 Presquaz. She had a goal in last night's game, the lone goal, as they lost 6-1 to Assiniboine. At center ice, they gotta wait to get on side, and they didn't wait long enough as Low Speech fired it in, but now all the white jerseys touch up, but it'll be the black jerseys leading it out. Backhand lay ahead by Lynn. It gets to its mark, and it's going to be shot on in, teed up and put into the corner. Follow-up comes by way of Johnson for the Bison. She didn't like the far side, tries the near side, and it ends up settling on the near side and dumps it off to the far side. Dorf's going to come back and grab it. Tried to touch it to the middle, that didn't connect, but Dorf's able to get in on a follow-up. Good job by Dorf. Over the line, and she falls down just in front of the Loyola bench. It's put out to center, knocked away there, but with a little time and space, it's going to be hacked over to the near side wall. Double a tap later, and a good little setup, but just unable to poke it by, although they did slow it up, did Cottrell. And the Bison will turn with 10:15 to go in the opening stanza. They get in wide. Dorf again looking to make the move to the middle. She could not finish it. The Ramblers going to tip it off the boards, and that's going to come down the ice. It won't have enough for icing, so a good play there, as O'Brien will look to force back for the Ramblers. It's going to be played around the wall, and Hansen's going to come up with it. Hansen at the outside rim of the circle in her own zone. Now a 3-on-2 potentially, and it just ends up getting batted into the zone by Schultz as they needed a line change anyway. Puck down below the goal line. Coming to get it on the far side of the rink is going to be Fisher. She'll lay it back around, and they flow it through to the middle. A chance, and that's just redirected up and got the glass. Good opportunity there for the Bison. Puck cleared away, and now it's going to be a 2-on-1. They move in alone. Coleman, there's a shot blocked. Rebound as she follows it up, and that was blocked again. Good defensive play by Johnson. Two aside going to the boards as Johnson and Coleman dig away at it. Each side gets a helper. And now the helpers are dealing with it as they get tackled down to the ice. Quick little pass, kind of handcuffed Lynn. She couldn't make a play on it in the slot. And now it's going to be pushed down over to the wall and slung out to center ice. Schultz puts it up. There's a half slapper, half winder, and that was blocked off as Fisher let it go. And the other way we go with Zinter shooting it in. Line change coming here both ways. Bison going to try the near side. That long stretch pass didn't connect with anybody as Bergbaum closed it down. Long outlet pass there didn't work, and now the follow-up's going to come by way of number 7, Cone. Cone all the way down and around the cage. Looking around in front, it got poked off her stick. Puck just sits in the corner. It's going to be tapped up the wall. They might try to force it all the way back, and they do. Low Speech. There's a drive and a good-looking shot by Low Speech, but Julia Smith up to the task as she will hold a whistle on a face-off upcoming. 8:21 to go in the first period. Shots are still right now sitting at 6-3, although they've been stuck there for a while. Score 1-0 in favor of the Bison. We get an offensive zone face-off. That got swatted away before it could be played on by number 16, Presquez. Play to the middle, and that shot never got on. A couple of bodies hit the floor, and now we get a break back. That's just going to be chipped and chased now. Coleman, as it's put into the corner, Coleman will follow up on it. She'll hand it on back to Zinter. Zinter laid it on back to the point. That shot's going to go wide off the stick of number 7, Lynn. Good job by her to hold the line. Now they find a player through the middle, a chance, and that's just redirected wide as Whitney Knight let it go. Now warming to the task are the Ramblers. It's tied up right on the corner boards here. They move it to the middle again, and this time this pass is going to be received, but a good force there by 19, Hannah Bergram, to keep it in. Hannah will step up and let one go there. That caromed off a stick, or a skate, I should say, hit the far boards, and now a lead feed. That is not going to be caught, but there will be no icing as a good race down was negated by Cone. Cone applying a forecheck pressure still. Then she knocked that outlet pass away. Puck over to the near side corner. They try to sweep it up the wall. Doesn't have enough to get out. And on another attempt, that is backhanded out. And a nice play again by Riley Coleman. Then she ran out of real estate or just actually dumped it in looking for a change. And Johnson was just fired around the near boards. It got as far as the circles, and now it's going to roll towards the blue line at center. Good job making a play on it at first by Dorf, then touched on by Johnson, then carried on now by Presquez. She moves to the middle. Just rolled off her stick, but she's going to be able to just turn and fire. And I'm not sure if Smith saw that, but it ended up going wide anyway. To the line, not out. They lurk and turn, and that's just going to be stuck away into the far side corner, or near side corner. Bison starting to hum a little bit here. Dorf, another shot. That got knocked down in front of the net with 6:32 to go here in the opening period. Been a fast-moving period of play as we've played, about 13, 14 minutes of hockey and barely 23 minutes of real time, and we may have even gotten a late start because it feels like it's been faster than that. That puck hit her right on the ice. What a cue ball shot by Johnson, and Julia Smith had to be quick there. And there's a shot on and a save. I tell you, the best save of the night may not even end up on the score sheet being a shot. What a stop there. As that thing turned over in front, and Smith was able to get a leg back into the middle of the net to cover it. To the near side corner. Lynn tries to move it up the wall. It gets as far as the top of the circle before it's spiked back in by Scholes. Side of the net, and looking to clear it out is going to be Bergman. Bergman fires it around the near side wall. That hit the official and came back to her? Not sure. Don't have a great angle down that corner, but this will get out to center. We get a foot race here, and a sweep on, and a collision, and deemed legally so as Coleman pushed it on further. Behind the net, it's later on by Presquez. Lead feed through, couldn't be knocked ahead, and it's just going to be grabbed by a Loyola player at center ice and fired right back down. No icing there, as they say, as it could have been touched, as the referees seem to have dinner plans tonight and want to keep this flow moving. Down below the goal line. Looking for an outlet feed. That's going to miss everybody. And can they wave this one off? They actually can, as Dorfman got position, and Now they call that one with Dorfman getting position and Smith coming out of the net, yet they still call the icing call. Go figure that one out. With 5:02 to go in the first period, and it's going to be an offensive zone faceoff for the Chicago Loyola Ramblers. Swift moving first period, and actually good job here. I'd like to see this. Referees come together, they chat it out, and they decide let's move the face off the center ice. Puck on the dot. Controlled by the Bison. They'll play it back to the defenseman here as Hansen's got it. She'll fire it in. A two-hopped again and a weird bounce, and Smith was lucky that didn't just bounce 5-hole. But it stays out, and we still have a 1-0 game with the Bison in front. Now they'll swing it around to the near side. Puck comes up the wall. A little bit of time and space here, and they're going to be able to bring it out. They gain the red line and look to fire it deep, and they will. Going in after it will be number 4 in green. That's Hansen. She was able to stay away from Maureen O'Brien. Lead feed here. This might be an icing. Nope, coming over the top. Nice play made by number 9. That's Knight to keep it in play. And Knight's got to go back and get it again. She'll just sweep it around the near side boards. It comes up the short boards here. Doesn't get enough to get out, and it's going to be retreating behind the comfort of her own net is Lynn. Reagan Lynn now. And what do we got here? We got a whistle. And puck, I guess, went up and out of play, so that's what the whistle was. So faceoff will stay in deep. 4:05 remaining here in the swift-moving first period. They tap it off the boards there as Lynn tried to move it up the wall. Couldn't do it successfully on the first attempt. They still dig away at it again. It's tied up along the boards. Nice protection there by Lynn. Played up, and again, that hit the netting. And they let that one go, and now it's going to be a break back the other way. Cottrell moving in from the dot, and her shot got blocked on a good back check play by Johnson. Behind the net they go, and the Bison will look to break out. Lead feed, rink wide. Nobody in white could handle that, as it's going to be stabbed back in by Early. Just inside the line it goes. Time for some changes here on both ends. Tipped on back into the zone there by number 19 in White Bergram. And now it's a turnover forced, and now a little offensive opportunity here. Coleman swings it to the middle. Puck 2 is going to be cleared away, and now possibly a rush back the other way. And then we go again. Nifty little puck handling by Cone. A shot and a save was made. Cone, who's got the goal in this one, nearly got a bid for a second. And a bouncing puck's going to end to the far side corner. Under 3 to go in the first period. Puck to the line, and it's just going to be knocked out to center. Tapped at, and now wired right back in by number 20, Dorf. Behind the net, grabbing it is Whitney Knight. Knight looks to wrap. That got poked off her stick. It's going to end up into the near side corner. Looking to turn and get it out to center, and unable to there was Coleman. That's thrown towards the net. Look out here. It's a loose puck, and they score! A loose puck, and Rachel Dorf able to pounce on it. Move on in and fire it home. And the goal by Dorf will be her first of the postseason. Time of the goal coming up on the board at the 17-minute, 29-second mark. And it will be a 2-0 lead for the Bison. Offensive zone or center ice face-off here following the second goal of the game, which was scored by Dorf, her first of the postseason. Now they look to carry it in. It's shipped to the far side corner. O'Brien does that. Looking to peel away from trouble is Johnson. It ends up going into the far side corner. Lynn has it. They will give Johnson and Hansen the assists, and now they get another break opportunity. Look out here, Dorfman again, a chance save, and the rebound is going to be pulled in. And it's going to be a penalty, a tripping call upcoming. It will not be a penalty shot, but a power play upcoming for the Bison. Again, Johnson and Hansen on the assists on that goal from Dorf. Cone scored from Dorf earlier. And now a tripping call upcoming will put a power play on the board for the Bison. Time of this call is going to go on the board at the 17-minute and 56-second mark. Off the draw, swung to the line, not out. Good keep there by the Bison. They walked the line and look. Patiently waiting here is Hansen. Tried to throw it off down low and did. Stepping out, Dorf a shot and a good redirection in front, but the save was made. Now the Ramblers are just going to clear it down the ice. Bridget Slater stays in the net as she felt that the pressure was being put on by Zinter. Zinter still trying to work on it there as she kills more time off the clock, and into the corner corralling it is Hansen. She'll chop it up ice, and that's going to be redirected in further. Good chase and follow up here. Trying to get on by there is Dorf. Dorf all the way around. Looks, waits, and now peels off as she hands it to Hansen on the outside rim of the far side circle. Hansen down below the goal line. On her backhand, she just pushed it over into the near side corner, and she'll go retreat and actually let it be picked up by number 9, Fisher. They work on the outside. Now to the back to the point, Hansen. Shot, save, rebound is loose out of the cage. They bang away at it, and it's going to be held, and a big stop there by Julia Smith, I beg your pardon, with just 59.3 to go in the period, 55 to go in the man advantage, and a big stop there by the netminder for Loyola. Offensive zone face-off upcoming. Schultz gets kicked out, and now settling in to take Obi Johnson. Wins it back to the point. Hansen. Drive, that hit a leg on the way through. Spinning, centering pass there, and that just didn't quite connect. Good idea, just didn't quite work out, and having to get back now will be Hansen in a race. Quickly played open to an open wing by the netminder Slater. Sent on through, that got deflected on a good read there as O'Brien knifed it down. A little bit of a cutoff by O'Brien, and that's going to allow a puck to knock it out. Look out, good keep here by Dorf. A shot, and a save was made as, again, Julia Smith, very confident at the top of her crease, makes a stop. As we've got 32.8 to go in the period and 28 to go in the man advantage. Face off in the far side of the rink as Johnson will settle in for a draw here. It's sat on the face-off dot for a moment. Now it's going to end up below the goal line. They flip it up the wall. Held in, driving, a shot, and that's going to skid her wide as Low Speech let that one go. How about over to the near side? Good rushing play by Cone to keep it in. They joust away there with 14 to go in the period. Centered on through, deflected on the way through, and Loyola Chicago will get it cleared out with just 3 to go in the man advantage. Back to get it here at center ice will be Cone. She'll send it across. The wink wide feed will end up empty, and that's going to do it through the first 20 minutes of play. What a start here for the Bison as we are through the first 20. The Bison jump out to a 2-0 lead over Loyola Chicago Ramblers. Folks, we're going to step aside. When we come back, second period action. You are watching the ACHA Division II Women's Tournament here on the ACHA YouTube Network. between the North Dakota State University Bison, the 4 seed in the West Regional, versus Loyola University Chicago Ramblers, the 6 seed in the West region. That's why you see the Bison being the home team in this game. Pool play wrapping up tomorrow with 6 more games right here at Chiller Easton. A couple of those games will definitely decide, several of those games actually will have either implication or directly decide the tournament or the pool champion, as only one game or one pool has been decided. Minot State will survive Pool B, and they will be heading over to the Ice House for a game, or excuse me, they will play a national semifinal game here on Saturday night before going over to the Ice House Sunday for a potential national championship should they survive. And speaking of surviving, we've survived the intermission, and we're right back to it here to get period 2 underway. Wrapping the net, looking for a play into the corner. Coleman couldn't get it out. She's pinned to the boards, and now it's pushed up a little bit further where Chloe Zinter has it. At center ice, it's going to be wired back in by Cone. Delayed offside has the Bison touching up. They slither it up to the zone, and now it'll come out to center ice. Unable to get a stick on it there was Zinter, and it's going to move back in. Mackenzie Schultz with a bump along the boards. Or check that was 16 on 11. Pruskowitz with it. And now it's laid down through, and the Bison have control. Shots were 16-4 in that first period. Player fell down back behind the play. Hopefully she's okay. That was Chloe Zinter. And she's able to get off the ice seemingly none the worse for wear. And now the steal and a break. Here could be a 2-on-1. They move on in. A long shot on that missed the net as Coleman let it go. Puck now to the near side corner, and it'll rim up the wall towards the blue line. It's going to go towards the bench. Had to wait to play it as it was nearly too many men. Referee, too many women, I should say. As it was played in and sent in, and that's going to be an icing call on a turn and hack. With 18:46 to go here in the second period. 16-4, the shots on goal. Both in favor of the Bison. They got a goal from Cone at 22 seconds. They got a goal from Dorf at 17:29. And that's the difference in this one. Offensive zone face-off for the Ramblers. They end up keeping it in at the line. It's going to be played over the near side corner. That's hacked towards the cage. It never got all the way on goal. Played around on the backhand by Lost Beach. Lost Beach able to get over there again. Good job by her to keep the pressure on. Now she'll look to move it up and maybe get a 3-on-2 going. She'll gain the red and now the blue. Lost Beach just turned it right into a 2-on-1 and a good-looking rocket shot that may have glanced off the blocker and will go wide. To the near side point, it's going to be held in and thrown in deep by Johnson. Down low. They poke away at it. Now it's kicked free and played to the middle. Backhand and just missing it on the backside. I don't think anybody knew that number 7 Logan Cone was on the backside of that play looking for a redirection home. Now it's played around. Didn't have enough to get around. Now a tuck play. That doesn't work. Rebound loose again in front. And it's going to be hit with a high stick. So we will get a whistle here with 17:51 to go. A couple of good opportunities for the Bison here in the early stages of period number 2. Face-off out at the center ice dot. It was knocked up into the air and finally will be sent into the far side corner. Taking a swipe at it, unable to clear on the first attempt. Now a second attempt, they reverse flow. A little bit of back and forth here as the puck moved to the middle, swept out towards the line. Good job keeping it in for the moment and keeping it in deep now by Cone. Puck's going to be, they're going to reverse flow here into the far side corner. That's where Holzberg's going to be able to make the play. She quickly tries to fire it right back around, but it was intercepted by Dorf. Dorf moves and sends it back to the point. A wind and fire. That shot was blocked. Nice job there on a little back pass and maybe a room for Coleman and a 2-on-2. Coleman dropped it on back and she dropped it just a hair too far as it had cleared the zone. Zinter couldn't quite keep it in, and we will get an offensive zone, or excuse me, a center ice face-off with 17:11 remaining in the second stanza. Still waiting for our first credited shot on goal here in this period. Loyola Chicago switching off their face-off here, trying to settle in for the draw. Coleman couldn't win the draw. Falling down on the play was a winger, and it's caught underneath the defenseman's legs. I believe that was Lothspeech who ended up sitting down on it. We'll do the face-off again right here at center ice. Actually, because it was sat on by Low Speech in the offensive zone or the defensive zone, they are going to move this to be a defensive zone faceoff for the Bison, an offensive zone faceoff for the Ramblers. Faceoff got over to the near far side boards, where the Ramblers try to put it in further. Now a jousting match into the corner. Two aside bump the boards, but the Bison are able to get it up and maybe a foot race here. Unable to get through was Cone. It's jammed back in and going in after it here to retreat and set up shop is going to be Low Speech. She'll hit around the far side boards. Nobody there but Zinter. Could handle it cleanly. Dorf played it ahead. Maybe numbers here for the Bison, but it's quickly spun away from them by number 7 in black, Reagan Lynn. Bison trying to finish up a change. They had somebody deep, but they didn't realize Coleman was ahead of the play. Now we get a foot race here and no icing. Coleman below the goal line. Wants to center it. We could get a race to the puck here, and it's won and cleared away. Up to the near side boards. It doesn't get out, though. Second effort, and the Bison will swing it to center ice this time. Drifting on back is Knight. She'll play it across rink wide. And now over the line is O'Brien. Looking to move to the middle. O'Brien back checked off. Still on the puck, and now it's going to be cleared away potentially, yes. Chopped over to the near side boards. Swatted in, unable to get it deep. They push it on a little bit further, though, as a good force there by Low Speech. She's been out there a ton in this game, but all these players are going to see a ton of ice time. Clear to the line, not out. Dorf trying to push it in further, and that puck's going to end up going up and out of play with 15:46 to go in period number 2. 2-0 the Bison lead. We still have not seen a shot marked on goal this period, so keep an eye out on that, as we have played 4:14 and have yet to see a shot get tallied up. Now the Bison bring it in. They move it in. Backhand chance. Saving the rebound is loose in the slot, and they score! Logan Cone, her second of the game. And Cone's second of the hockey game at the 4-minute and 22-second mark has given the Bison a 3-0 lead. Great job there by Cone as she follows up the play to the front of the net, taps in the rebound to make it the 3-0 score that we've got on the board now. Tapped over to the near side boards. And now chipped in a little bit further by Schultz. Now they got the scores backwards, as it's going to be, they announced the Ramblers goal, but it's actually North Dakota State, as it's going to be Cone from Schultz, and they now roll in as the net's going to come off, as Cone's second will be from Schultz. And the time of this goal, again, 4:22. Scorer's favor. It just so happens that both teams had a 7 and both teams had an 11, so it didn't catch to him that it was wrong. He announced it was Lynn from O'Brien, but nope, it's going to be Cone from Schultz. And that's going to be a 3-goal lead here for the Bison. They try to flip it out to center, and now it's going to be grabbed, and they will rush on back. Here's 22 Riddell. In, a long shot gets blockered over to the far side corner. Looking to get a little bit of a cycle game going here, and the Bison do a nice job there, just pushing it right back in further. They try to send it through to the middle here, jumping into the play. Defensively, it was a good job by Early, but she could not get it in further, and back behind the cage to get it is going to be Johnson. Fires it around the boards on the far side where Rachel Johnson now tips it to the line, not out. Long shot, just rims wide and heads into the near side corner. That's flipped up high, a bouncing puck, controlled at center ice, or at least knifed down at center ice by, that was, I believe, that was Early that did that. And now as the Bison complete a change, the Ramblers going to run on in. It's a 3-on-3 over the line as they finish a defensive change. That caused that play to break up, and a lead feed just unable to handle it was Dorf. Dorf now going to come in and wire one in a shot save. Rebounds loose on the backside of the net. Net got redirected towards the cage, and Dorf couldn't finish that one either. 14:07 left on the clock. That outlet was intercepted. They pass it offside of the net. Oh, and the rebound goes just out the other side. Great opportunity for the Bison to put a 4-goal lead on the board. They cannot, but they hold possession of the puck. Low Speech a drive. That didn't get all the way through. Going to be chipped to the near side boards, and maybe a little time and space. Just unable to catch up to it there was number 11 O'Brien, and they go rink wide. The Bison turn, looking to power up some speed here. Over the line at Schultz. Moves in a shot. That hit a leg and goes off into the corner. Scholes tried to drop it on back to the point. There was nobody there as they were finishing a change. Hansen now has to get over. It was shipped on by her by O'Brien. A foot race back into the near side corner. Johnson has it. Looks to avoid a check by O'Brien. They play it on back to the point, and that shot didn't get through off the stick of the defenseman, Lynn. Now the defensewoman, Lynn, moving in, down to the bottom of the circle. Throws it through on the back door, missed the net. Good job there on that play. Falling down was Knight trying to force the play. And a free puck, it just going to kind of roll to the middle, and the Bison are going to go ahead and chop it down the ice. 7 minutes into a pretty eventful period, number 2. Long stretch pass through the middle, just hit through 2, but it did deflect, so no icing here. Going in after it is going to be Zinter. Zinter goes into the corner with it. They tie it up there. Jousting there is Zinter and Gabriel Johnson. And Johnson and Zinter and others are still in there digging away at it. 12:32 left on the clock. See if the referee's going to blow the whistle. Nope, going to force it to come out. Side of the net a chance. That doesn't connect. They reverse flow, and it's going to come up to the benches right by the boards there. And Fisher just put it, that's number 9, Knight, putting it back in, and a chance in front, and a save was made. And the rebound, did they punch it through the 5-hole? No, it is underneath the netminder, Slater, and did not go with 12:11 to go. And the best scoring chance of the game for the Ramblers ends up for naught, but still good offensive opportunity for them. Face off here, one, and stepping into one, a shot. Nice face off win, and a drive was put on by Bergram. Now maybe a 2-on-1 back the other way. Full speed ahead over the line comes Perquez. There's a shot, and a save was made, and that's going to be held by Julia Smith. Wilson will face off upcoming with 11:58 left on the clock. Check 10 goal, 18-8 in favor of the Bison. But 4-2 in favor of the Ramblers this period. Offensive zone face-off at center, offensive zone face-off, I should say, for the Bison, and there's a clear seeing shot and a good looking stop there as it was let go by Hansen, and up to the task on that one was Smith. Preska was in to settle in to take the straw again. Tried to win it on back. She did, but helping out was Hansen, who also took a couple steps down the wall to get it in further. They try to clear it on the far side. It's soccered back in by Lothspeech. They still joust away as the puck is right where the short boards and the tall boards meet. It's going to be dug out by Loyola, and the Ramblers are going to look to bring it on back. Here comes number 22, Sophia Riddell. She couldn't carry it on through, and the Ramblers will have to drift on back and set up shop. Throwing on the brakes, a rink-wide feed. That was red. Look out here, a turnover, and they score! It was turned over. And an unassisted goal by Rachel Dorff will make it 4-0 Bison. Her second of the game. And a big goal there on an outlet pass that didn't quite connect. And a 4-0 lead for the Bison. With 11:20 to go, so the time of that goal is going to be 8 minutes and 40 seconds. So Dorff and Cone each with 2 tonight. Puck's going to be dug out, looking to get into the offensive end of Zinter. She handles it on the backhand and taps it on in further. It's going to roll down below the goal line, looking to play it away, and a nice job there to move it along the wall by Johnson. Puck tipped ahead, could be numbers. Might be a 2-on-1, and it's just a little bit sent too far. Dorff, though, with that great speed, will move in on it. That shot was blocked, but coming in is Johnson, a shot, through some legs, a save was made, and the rebound on the far side, and they bang it in again! And I believe that's going to be the third of the game for Dorff. A hat-trick goal and a 5-0 lead for the Bison. Dorff just following her up for her own rebound. A good-looking play there. As Dorff scores her second and third, both of the series, or of the postseason and of the game. And it is a 5-0 lead for the Bison, and I believe Loyola is going to use this opportunity to take a timeout. 9 minutes and 16 seconds, the time of that goal, to make it the 5-0 spread that we're at now. Shots on goal 25-8. Score 5-0 as the Bison jumping all over Chicago Loyola.
Great catch. It was a great shot. It's a great shot. Yeah, it's like you can see me after the catch. You can see me celebrating it. I got it. I got it.
So Rachel Johnson and Logan Cohn get the assist. That's also a 3-point night for Cohn, as she's got 2 goals and an assist here with 10:44 on the clock. Just about the halfway point of this hockey game, and North Dakota State and the Bison really starting to take it to the Chicago Loyola Ramblers. I don't know if this was a media timeout or if it was actually a timeout taken by Loyola. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what this was. You shouldn't have a media timeout after a goal, although I did not see a signal for a timeout taken by Chicago Loyola. But after all that, we'll get a whistle that now they do. They break the huddle there on the Loyola bench, and we'll have a center ice face-off after the 3rd goal of the game by Dorf. Center ice face-off after the goal coming up. Tresquaz tries to pull it on back. She wins it a little bit too cleanly, as Loth Speech has to drift on back into her own end. Long stretch pass, got knifed down and turned back in by Knight. The lead offside will give the Bison a moment to clear it. It's a lead feed and a little bit of time and space for Tresquaz. She tries to fight on through, couldn't carry it all the way through, and it kicks back out to center ice. Rink-wide feed was knifed down, but on second effort it does find its way over to Mackenzie Schultz. Schultz will put it in and around the boards. Puck's going to go all the way around the net, where it's going to be handled by Lynn. Lynn tips it up further. That got knifed down before it could get through. Second effort cleared to the line, not out. And now it's played in further, and it was a nice keep by Low Speech. And on third effort, it's finally going to get to center ice by Loyola Chicago. Fired back in, though, as we get right back to it. Lynn behind the cage, tries to get the cycle back. Good job by her as the first pass is connected. A little spin-a-rama play here. They try to pass it in front again, and this time it's taken away by the Bison. They move out in front on a quick power move from the side of the cage, from the back of the net to the side of it. And another rebound shot that just wouldn't go. They fake the shot and send it rink wide. Time and space here, and a rising shot is in the glove. As number 4, Alyssa Hansen, liked the shot, but it just ended up getting gloved off and held with 9 minutes and 34 seconds to go in period 3. And so the first timeout was a Chicago Loyola timeout. Now we're going to take a media timeout. We're going to step aside. It is a 5-0 lead for the Bison.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by Barron's Championship Rings, the official ring vendor for all ACHA National Champions and Hall of Famers. And by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
And welcome back inside the Chiller Easton Center. Here's our last game of the day. 6 pool games here. Let's take a look at the standings here. Lot still left to be determined and be decided here. Let's grab those standings for you, as I know we got them somewhere. Here we go. In Pool A, Lakehead and BC both 2-0 on the year, are in the pool, and they will play tomorrow. Winner basically will move on into the national semifinals. Pool B has already been won by Minot State, so they will move on to the national semifinals. In Pool C, things begin to get a little interesting. Delaware now is 1-1 with the loss today. And the winner of this game, which looks like it's going to be, well, it was still half the game to go. I don't want to say that. But the winner of this game will end up at 1-1. And Delaware and North Dakota State will play tomorrow. So if this result should hold, Delaware and North Dakota State will play a game to go to the national semifinals. And then finally in the Pool D, with the big win by, I believe it was earlier on, the earlier victory here for the, Adrian knocked on, what was it? Assiniboine College got the victory a moment ago. Actually, I'm sorry, I checked that. It was Bishop's University got the victory. So they improved to 1-1 in the pool. Or 2-0 on the pool. Adrian now 1-1. And Assiniboine is now 1-1. And the game tomorrow in the in-pool game will be Adrian versus Assiniboine. So what they got to hope for is that this Loyola Chicago team can knock off Bishop's University. If Bishops get at least 1 point in that game, they will play for the national semifinal. So get a little bit of a preview for tomorrow. Meanwhile, let's pick this game back up as it's brought on in. Long shot on. That's just going to be blockered away or stuck away into the corner by Slater. And long stretch pass is a good one as Dorf has it. Dorf looks to gain the line. A little bit of a bump with their own teammate. Now send Rink wide. They move it in and they score! What a rush there as Dorf sent it across and it was finished by Rachel Johnson. And it is now a 6-0 game. Great stretch pass there as they carry it on through. And a touch into the back of the net to make it a 6-0 game with 8:38 to go in period number 2. So it's out of that goal, 11-22. And it's going to be, the goal will be scored by R. Johnson, assisted by Dorf. And they also give a secondary assist to Logan Cohn, her 4th point of the game. So with 11:20 to go on the clock, or at the 11:20 marker period number 2, let me rephrase. It moves to 6-0 here as the Bison are on top. Puck's going to be spiked around the near side boards. Bison are going to move it up to center ice. And it's turned over there. Look out, an opportunity, and they're going to say it's an offside, as I think that it was knocked ahead by Prezaquaz. And that's why the play is offside, as the Bison will have a center ice face-off right in front of us here along the near side of the rink. Tied up just inside the blue line here. It's an onside play. Digging it out, and it comes free to Hansen. She'll send it rink wide, and an onside play has them pouring in. Reagan Lynn looks to reverse the flow. It gets to the short boards no further as it's held in by Low Speech. Tipped down the back boards, and now with a little time and space, looking to clear it out will be number 9, Whitney Knight. She has the reverse flow. It's tapped off the near side boards. Riddell can't come out with it. Puck held in, shot on, and a save was made there. Rebound going to be spiked off to the corner. And work behind the net, looking for a breakout. Good protection there by number 7. That was Lynn, but it gets turned over and is brought back in by Hansen. Moving to the dot and down. That did not work, and it's going to be cleared away. And now we're going to get a foot race here. Can it be won by Lynn? Lynn just had to pull cue it in further. And back to get it and to cover nicely there was going to be Prezaquaz. A little bit of a bump off there as the Bison couldn't control the puck. A little bit of a push off by Prezaquaz, and it ends up in deep. And it's going to be dropped to the line, and it ends up coming out to center. And really, Hansen didn't have much to do with it, so she went ahead and fired it in. On a lane offside, 5 Chicago Loyola players can wind up out of their own end. This gets deflected before it can get deep. Spinorama play gets it backhanded in further. Hansen does that. Looking to keep the pressure on for the Bison. Loyola Chicago, touch pass there, and now they look to skate away with it. 1-on-2, nifty little move, and it's going to be sent on down, and this is going to have enough for icing, as I don't know if Zinter knew that she hadn't quite gained the red line. So we've got 6:29 on the clock in period number 2, and it's a 6-0 hockey game. Shots in this one, 26-8. Through the first 20, they were 16-4. So in this period, we're looking at 10-4, both in favor of the Bison. Face-off wing, gonna be slammed around the wall. Nice play there as it gets up to Knight, and she played it around. Now it's ended up below the goal line. Looking to reverse flow here is gonna be Burgum. It gets as high as the circles before it was pushed down further by Fisher. Sent to the line and looking to make a move. Nice little play there, and another little nice deke as it's gonna be brought on by O'Brien. She'll now chip and chase. Back in to get it will be Lothspeak. Lothspeak plays it to the line. It's intercepted. Look out here. Chance, and they move in. And a block shot. And the rebound shot that hit a leg on the way through. Now it's played on back. As Hannah Burgum gives it back. And it's knifed down here at center ice. Looking to tip it on further is Maureen O'Brien. She couldn't get it deep, but it is followed up again by Hannah Burgum. Burgum over the line. She's got room on the left wing and rolled it on in. Just a little bit out of the reach of the forward there. That puck got kind of poked away by Slater. There's a shot on and a save made as Chicago Loyola with some opportunities. Another shot on and a save was made. Good job by Slater holding that near side post. Or I should say that far side post as it's brought in. Looking to get wide. It was poked off. They swing it to the middle. Everybody's playing you got it, I take it. Clear to the line, not out. Nice keep there by Lothspeak as she saw that one coming at center ice. Played in further. They look to move it to the middle. A little bit of a tie up here as dancing in deep is Dorf and Early. It's dug out by the Bison and sent on back to the point with 4:57 to go. A lot of time and space here. A shot, and that I think got deflected before it ever found its way on goal. Sent through the middle here. That didn't connect. They work it over to the near side. Lothspeak a shot. That got blocked, and it got put through and out the other side as the Bison nearly cash in for their 7th. All Bison right now. Lothspeak sends it in down low. Bison actually trying to make a change, and it was unable to be handled cleanly by Johnson, and this is going to give Loyola an opportunity to bring it out. A little bit of a chip and chase effort here done by Early. She couldn't get through. Puck's just going to roll on back, and that's going to be sent right back out of the zone. This will not be icing as the referees wave it off. Looking to play away is Gabrielle Johnson. To the middle of the ice, it's sent back in by number 9 in black, Whitney Knight. It doesn't get all the way deep as it's going to be cleared and on chopped to center. It was poked off the stick of number 16, Presquaz. Works just inside the red line where it'll be fired in by Zinter. That didn't get deep. They battle right on the red line where it's going to be turned and fired in by Johnson. She couldn't get it all the way through as neither team really able to gain control here at center ice. Finally, it's just kind of brushed on in by Schultz. Burgum sends it hard off the boards. It caroms back to the point, but not out. Point shot there. They were looking for a one-timer on the backside, and not really going to stick on it was Presquaz. Into the far side corner. Knight sends it up the middle. And it's just going to be redirected. Is it going to have enough for icing? No, it's waved off as Gabrielle Johnson comes all the way back for it. Long stretch pass gets deflected at center by Lothspeak. No icing here, as it didn't have enough to go over the line anyway. Turning and sending it in as Zinter. Two teams kind of playing catch at neutral ice here. Now the Bison look to push it forward as that's Dorf getting it on over the line. She got canceled out on a good defensive play by Hannah Burgum. And at center ice, it's just going to be spiked on in. Time for changes here. And on the late offside, the Bison will touch up. 2:52 remaining in the second stanza. 6-0 our score. Falling down on the play behind the net was Hannah Burgum. It's pushed up the far side wall. It won't have enough to get out as a little drop pass there. A little bit of a too cute of a play. Didn't work for the Bison, and Cone now has to race back to it. Cone spikes it off the far side boards. Taking a swipe at it there was number 4, Hansen. Didn't get out, and coming back to retreat will be Burgum. Long shift for her, and the puck's going to end up out of play. We'll get a whistle and a face-off here. 2:24 left in the second period. 6-0 Bison on top of the Loyola University Chicago Ramblers. There's a shot in and a great opportunity, and that wouldn't go.
Went off the ice, spent 10 minutes, came back, and it was...
There's a shot on, saving the rebound, it's loose, and it's going to roll in. It was gloved for a minute by Smith and ended up powering through the glove. And I believe it was a point shot by Hansen that gets in. And it is now going to be a 7-0 hockey game. 17:50 the time of the goal. Hansen, I believe we'll get credit for it. We'll wait for the official call. But I believe Hansen was the one that let it go. And that's going to make it a 7-0 game. If it is Hansen's goal, it'll be her first of the postseason. Perezquez gets the assist. And that's thrown towards the front. It's going to bounce to the far side corner. 7-0 our score. Touchdown lead so far here for North Dakota State. They go D to D here to Loyola, trying to get it out. It gets to the top of the circle, no further. No penalty coming on that play, as it possibly could have been called. They try to sweep it out, and everybody's letting it bounce over their stick. And finally, control is had by number 20 in tight was Dorf. Dorf bumped to the wall. Now they try to move to the middle. Johnson got her stick checked off, and now Loyola Chicago will look to accelerate through. We're into the final 1:12 of the period, number 2. Loose puck on that Blue Jackets logo at center ice. That's going to be bumped in, and now they move in. Delayed call up coming, and that shot did not miss by much. And now it's going to be touched, and a power play to ensue, as we are going to get a checking call up coming, and a power play opportunity for Chicago Loyola. Actually, well, I don't know. The Chicago Loyola jumped into the box. I'm pretty sure it was a Bison penalty. Yes, it was. As Preska was. Time of this is going to occur at the 19-minute mark. A checking call to Presquez. The goal, by the way, by Hansen. It was by Hansen, and it was her first of the postseason. So we've got a 3-goal night for Dorf, a 2-goal night for Cone, 1 for Hansen, and also 1 for Johnson. That's R. Johnson, Rachel Johnson, also with her first of the postseason. And shorthanded, and actually we are going to play for a side. I beg your pardon, as it's going to also be a penalty to Loyola. Bucket center, going to be spiked back in. Didn't get deep, though, off the stick Johnson. And now Loyola will look to stretch the play. That's tipped down further by O'Brien. It was by the stick of Knight and just gets chipped back in deep, though. Good job here by Chicago to get it in deep. A little bit of a fake there, and as Gabriel Johnson will look to outlet, and they will do so. With a little speed, coming up over the line. They gained the line, that hit a body and didn't get through. Delayed offside, mean they had to touch up. Now a rush back in the other way, O'Brien. She couldn't get on through. Poked away there by number 3, Loath Speech. This puck's going to squirt down the ice with 4 and 3, 2 and then 1, and that is how period number 2 will end. With the Bison on top, they take a 7-0 lead into the second intermission locker room here. You are watching the ACHA Division II Women's College Hockey National Championship. We're in pool play, and you're watching it on the ACHA Network on YouTube. Welcome back inside Chiller Easton here as the intermission about to wind on down. 7-0 lead for the Bison here as they have been very, very good today, forcing the play. 28-9 shots on goal. In that second period, they were 12-5 in favor of the Bison. And as we said, that overall total gets you to 28-9 after a 16-4 first period. It's been a hat trick for Dorf as she's gotten 3. Cohn's gotten 2. Johnson and Hanson each with 1. That adds up to the 7 goals scored by the home team, the Bison. They are the home team as they are the 4th seed. Loyola University Chicago, they are the Ramblers and they are the 6th seed. They all huddle up by their bench chairs. We get ready to start third period action. Slater and Julie Smith, the goaltenders, both have been solid. Bridget Slater, I beg your pardon. We were impressed yesterday by her efforts, though she was swarmed under for 6 against Assiniboine. It really was not, she didn't have a chance on many of them, and several of them were really, really good scoring chances, and she stopped just a really good game, and we're seeing that continue tonight as she has been sharp on all 9 shots she's faced. And we are underway in period number 3. That puck's going to be chopped down. Oh, and the aforementioned Slater struggled with that bouncing puck. We still have a minute left also in the 4 side, which that clock not yet working, so they're going to have to know to let those ladies out of the box at the 19-minute mark. Anyway, let's get right back to it. It's turning and moving it in there. Unable to get it deep was Zinter. Puck at center ice. Going to be controlled and to actually tap back in on a good play there by Coleman. Puck behind the net, and they look to ramp, and the Bison look to take off. Lead feed through the center ice zone, and a nice little near side tap. The follow-up comes by Dorf. She'll go ahead and wire it in around. On the back side of that play, it's going to be pushed in further by Johnson. It got poked by her, and now Knight will look to carry it on out. Long arching pass. No icing here, as they're going to say it could have been touched by Hanson. Hanson back to play it. Give and go as Hanson now's got speed built up. It's going to be a 2-on-2. She moves it in left wing side. And she got kind of rubbed down as she looked to move to the middle. She did get help by way of Rachel Johnson in tight. Now holding the line also along the near post is Loth Speech. Down below the goal line. Lynn tried to fire it around. It's loose out of the cage. And it's cleared away by Loyola Chicago. Good job there. Now the puck's going to get back behind the net. Lynn looking to help out. It's going to come around to the near side or far side boards as it was backhanded in further by Riddell. Now a little time and space for it to be carried on out. Braun on up, and that's Knight. Knight couldn't dance on through. A free puck at center is going to be controlled here and circling back into their end of the Bison. 28-9 are the shots, 7-0 our score. We're a minute and 50 seconds into the 3rd stanza. Trying to get in here is Hannah Bergen. Hannah moving in, a giant tight. No, she just couldn't get it up and under the bar on the short side. Good looking rush there though. Now they wrap the net or kind of canceled down. Here is Johnson. Well, Chicago pressing to see if they can get one here. Riley Coleman helping out there. A little bit of a stick lift there by Coleman as she ties up a check. Stick goes flying, puck goes flying, and it will be moved up. The Bison will gain the line. Send it rink wide, and able to handle it cleanly there was Fisher. And it's going to bounce off the boards and able to move on out of the zone cleanly was Zinter. And now we got to chase back. Dorf, the 3-goal shooter tonight. She'll go give chase down below. Good speed by her. And now it's dug out and into the near side corner. They look to plan on up. It gets as far as the top of the circle, but not out. Coleman had it for a moment. Now the Bison look to center it. That doesn't connect. They turn and center it again, and that was just missed by Presquaz, and that's going to be cleared the length of the ice. No icing here as it was sent on down by the Bison, and looking to wind up here will be Bryn Fisher. Lead feed gets through, at least as far as the line, and now on second effort, it's going to be pushed down further by Fisher. It got poked off of her stick, but covering it center is going to be Cone. Rink-wide feed, never really got to Hanson, but she did a nice job breaking it up, and now it's going to be sent on in by Schultz. 16:47 to go on the clock. Bison on top by a score of 7-0. There's a drive and a rising shot right into the glove of the netminder as that's going to be held by Low Speech. Whistle and a face-off upcoming. It's going to be in the near side circle here. Shots on goal 29-11. That puts them at 1-2. 1 for the Bison and 2 for the Ramblers. Off the draw, controlled by the Bison. Looking to step into one there. That was blocked as it came off the stick of Low Speech. A little duck underneath as the Bison keep the puck down low on the goal line. Looking to center, and it's going to come all the way out to center as Low Speech could handle it cleanly. Low Speech tamps it off the near side boards. They want to feather it in further, and Cone could handle it cleanly. Good job, though, keeping the pressure on by Rachel Johnson. She throws it through the middle, and unable to catch up to it was Dorf. Over now to the near side boards. Dorf tried to move it to the middle of the ice, couldn't cleanly, and now Low Speech is just going to try to fire it in. That doesn't get deep. It's redirected at center. Careful here. You don't want to get too many men if you're the Bison. And they are able to avoid that as it's going to be tapped in. Doesn't get deep as it hit a Bison body, and it's just going to be played over to a near side empty wing. From the wrong side of center, it was tapped up by Early, but it didn't go deep enough for icing. So with 15:46 to go, the Bison have more opportunity here. Long bomb stretch pass connects, and it's going to be redirected in. Schultz looks to catch up to it. She will, 1-on-5. Took a little bump, but then fought through it. Schultz down below the goal line, looking in front, a shot, and that was kind of just put back away. Loyola Chicago reverses flow as they didn't like what they had trying to move out on the right wing side. In tight, Whitney Knight cleared away and kept pushed on in further by Cone. Logan Cone couldn't keep possession, and that's going to roll by the stick of Hansen. Icing is waved off as we are about 4 minutes and 50 seconds into the third stanza. Long stretch pass here, and again, no icing call as Knight will have to go back and chase it for the Ramblers. It gets cleared around to the half boards on the far side. Fossier in there. First time I remember mentioning her name out there. She gets a shift. Puck now punched free in the circle and tapped off the boards, and it'll get out to center. And now trying to maintain her footing and able to do so at least to get it in deep is Reagan Lynn. She will now peel off, and she gets help, though, by way of Cottrell. Cottrell couldn't force the puck to stay in deep, and now the Bison break back. Hansen with it. It's sent on in, 2-on-2 over the line. A shot, and that skittered just wide. It's going to work its way over to the near side point. That shot's thrown on in redirection in front. Another chance, and it gets the side of the cage. Smith had good lateral movement side to side to make sure that that didn't get in. Now the battle continues down below the goal line. Two at side do battle. It's dug out by the Bison. They look to center it. Thrown on in, and a save was made. And I believe maybe our first or second whistle of period number 3. It's going to come with 14:13 to go in a 7-0 contest. Bison on top. Offensive zone face-off for the Bison. It's going to occur in the left wing circle. Settling in to take it, it will be number 7, Logan Cone. She's got a couple goals in this game today. Collision there in the circle. Everybody seems to part peacefully for now. Now a wrap attempt. They look in front. They rip it on back to the point. There's a shot on. It's in and out of the glove. The rebound is loose, and it's going to be cleared away. That shot was let go by number 6, Johnson. Now we get a 5-woman battle royal along the far side boards. Trying to dig it out there. One of the players in there is Coleman. Also in there is number 10, Rachel Johnson. Finally, it comes free, and the Ramblers are going to wire it around the near side boards. Doesn't have enough to get out. It got as far as the top of the circle before it's held in. Push down further. Bison working below the goal line here. That is Dorf doing that. Tried to center it, and it didn't get through as it hit a skate, and now the Ramblers will look to bring it out. Full speed ahead. A nice little move there as it's chopped on further. And a good play by Riddell. She looks to force. Play through the middle, and that got knifed away from Cone. And it's going to be chopped into the far side corner. No icing here as they look to rebound. Bison, lead feed, gets as far as the hash marks outside rim of the circle. Poked away, and now giving chase on a good defensive play by O'Brien. She looks to follow it up here as the Ramblers look for their first goal of the game. That didn't work, and it's now going to be brought back the other way. Full speed ahead, Preskowitz. The shot scores! What a drive by Preskowitz as she let it go, and from a bad angle shot, she got it in as it may have bounced in off of Julia Smith. Time of this goal, it's going to be 7 minutes, 8 seconds. As Preskowitz with the goal. We'll see if there's any assist, but the goal there for her will be her first of the game, but her second of the postseason. And it doesn't look like any assists were called. So it's going to be an unassisted goal for Presquas. Now they work to the outside, thrown through the middle, and no one there to get a stick on it. Bison still looking to press as they lead now 8-0 with, we give about 7.5 minutes gone by in this period. They joust and dig and still trying to get it free. 3-on-2 with the extra player by way of Loyola, but it's dug out by the Bison, who pinch up the wall a little bit further and tap it on in by Johnson. Outside rim of the near side circle, turning and throwing it in and diving back to it. A great job by Julia Smith as it was thrown to the middle. And I believe it was let go by Dorf. From a sharp angle, it hit a leg and just squirted back towards the netminder, but a good job, an alert play by Smith as she gets back to it and will keep it out of the net. 12 minutes, 2 seconds left on the clock. Shots 35-11 in favor of the Bison. And the face-off still sitting in the dot. Now they try to soccer it out to center, does Loyola Chicago. And look at this play, as it's all in the feet of Early. Actually, that's number 7, I beg your pardon, as Lynn tries to get it out, and she does. Good work by Lynn. That's why soccer before the game's brought in over the line. That's going to be just tipped into the corner by Slater. Thrown through the middle, and that was led nicely and cleared away by Presquas. She's got a goal in this game. Carried on back, full speed ahead, bringing it into Schultz. She got run out of real estate and just had to chip it in further. Spiking it around is Bergeron. That shot well wide of the cage, put on by Lothspeech. And Loyola Chicago looking to wind up, closing in on the halfway point. Unable to carry it all the way cleanly through, and they turn back now as losing it was Burgum. There's a shot and a nice stop there, and falling down on the play was the shooter, number 11, Schultz, with 11:07 to go here in the third period. Shots are now 36-11 in favor of the Bison. Score 8-0 in favor of the Bison. One last change being made here, and actually we're going to get the refs over to have a conversation with the Bison coach, having a conversation with the referee with the orange armband. And it looks like we're going to be good to go here. Offensive zone face-off for the Bison. They are going to win it and try to poke it in further. Instead, it's Loyola Chicago busting out with it. Caught in the skates, but then finding back to it was Coleman. She's going to go ahead and sweep it in and now go ahead and give chase. Coleman cancels out into the corner. It was poked off the stick of number 7, Cone, as she wanted to move to the middle. Now trying to center it in front. They do. Oh, what a great stop by Slater, is alone at the foot of the crease. Was Olivia Forcier, and a stop was made. A good push off by Slater. She gets over and makes the save. Shots 36-11, but the score is still 8-0 due to the good net minding, I beg your pardon, by Bridget Slater. Offensive zone face-off now for the Loyola Chicago Ramblers. They move it to the middle of the ice. It's rolling towards Slater, and that just gets cleared away by her mates. Redirected at center ice, poked down and pushed further. Gaining the line and trying to get it deep there was Hansen. That didn't connect. And Loyola Chicago wants to wind it up and turn with it. That is Burgum. Burgum tries the reverse flow to the near side. Looking to set something up here on a clear out. They can't do it. A give and go along the near side. Nice little pass to herself by number 3, Early. Played around to the far side boards. Forcier couldn't handle that one. And on the backhand, it does get flipped to center by Cottrell. Follow up again as it gets spiked out by Holzberg. 4 Bison back in their own end. Should give them an opportunity to turn and maybe clear it out. To the line, not out on the first attempt. On the second attempt, it's just going to bounce and be rolled on in by Holzberg. Cleared up the wall, out to center, and just going to be backhanded in further by Fisher. In deep now is going to be Early. Early gets it up as the line changes are finished, and that's going to be spiked right back in by number 20, Dorf. Puck works its way over to the near side. Tapped off the boards and cleared out to center. A little bit of a collision into the wall. All of that deemed legal. And going back to play it, it's going to be Lothspeech. She wraps the cage and looks to protect. Good job forcing her there by Zintner. They try the other side. And that's Hansen getting it to the line, not out. Could be a 3-on-1, and it just got poked away before anything could happen there for the Bison badly. And a back check there was pretty good, and it's going to be cleared and sent on in. 9:12 on the clock in a pretty swift moving period number 3. It's going to be rattled around and worked its way back in. Turned around and fired back up the boards by Hansen. Dug out, and they look to move to the middle. Presquez fights through that, and now it's going to be pasted up the far side boards. Could be numbers here as Dorf has it. Dorf over the red and now the blue line. Catches the trailer, and Presquez moving in and never could get the shot off. She's got to peel back away. Presquez wanted to throw it to the middle. That didn't connect, and now we come back the other way with 8:40 to go here in period number 3. Presquez winds and fires, and a save was made there. Good job by Smith at the top of her crease. 8:30 now on the clock. Shots 37-12 in favor of the Bison, and a play coming in front, and that's going to be cleared away. Backhanded to the far side corner. That's tipped on in further, and it works its way around to the near side corner now. Looking for a stretch pass are the Loyola Chicago Ramblers. That didn't connect. They reverse flow, hoping to maybe be able to clear it out on the near side. Good pinch down the line by Hansen. And now the Bison coach really upset about something as there's a collision in the near side corner. Looks like everybody's okay as it gets sent back to the point. Winding and firing, that shot was blocked, and it could be an opportunity to break back. And at the end of the long shift, really not much gas left for Cottrell to get going. And the laid off side will give Loyola Chicago an opportunity to clear it. They get it as far as the line, not in as it spun on in further. They move to the middle to the Bison. There's a shot on, and a save was made, and the rebound's going to be tipped back out to the top of the circle. Good little stick knock there. That's going to give room, and a shot is put on, and a save is made as we will get a whistle here as Courtney Lothspeech let it go. Whistle and a face-off upcoming. 7:28 to go. Shots have mulched to 38-12. Score 8-0. Both of those in favor of the Bison. Off the draw, going to be one and now spiked around the boards. Going to get to the hash mark or get to the short boards on the far side in front of the Loyola bench. Doesn't have enough to get out. 7:19 on the clock. They look to dip on through. There's a nice little deflection there by Presquez. Played back up the wall. There's a shot, and it's stuck over to the near side boards. They look to reverse flow. Good job cutting in here. Lothspeech down below the goal line. All the way around, at least behind the cage, and looks to move to the far side. Good protection there by Lothspeech. Just going to get some help down low as they are unable to clear it on the first attempt. Second attempt, they move it to the middle. And now Loyola Chicago had a chance to move it out. They can on the first effort, and now second effort, they get it out. Finally, and now it's tipped on in further as Burgum got it in deep. A collision here. Some bodies hit the deck. Nothing coming up on this call here, and it looks like they unfurl, and everybody's going to be okay here with 6:33 to go. Puck to the middle, bouncing around. There's a little bit of a bump. Thrown on a backhand towards the front of the cage. That didn't find its mark as O'Brien had the chance. And now grabbing it, it's going to be Knight. Knight, her first pass to Zinter is a good one. Zinter now in over the line to the middle, a shot, and a save was made, and that'll be held by Slater. And we will get a whistle and a face-off with 6:12 to go here in period number 3. As the Bison now going to be playing a big game tomorrow, it looks like, against the number 1 seed in their bracket. We look forward to it, as it looks like NDSU has got Delaware coming up, but we've got a break coming up. 6:12 to go, 8-0 our score. We're coming back with the conclusion of this one.
The 2018 ACHA National Championships are brought to you by the Columbus Blue Jackets. For tickets and more, visit bluejackets.com. R-Bar, the official ACHA 2018 Nationals post-game hangout and best hockey bar in Columbus. And by the Greater Columbus Sports Commission. Columbus has no off-season.
Let's bring it right on back inside. Here we are looking at the remainder of this one here as we are at the Chiller Easton site. We got the final 6:12 on the board. The Bison leading Loyola Chicago. The score, 8-0. Shots on goal, 38 for the Bison, 13 for Loyola Chicago. And as we said, 6:12 on the clock. This is going to set up a big game tomorrow between this squad from North Dakota State and the Delaware squad, which I believe will determine who's going to the national championship. Referees have a conversation at the scorer's table, just about ready to break this up and go after it here for the final 6:12. As the teams come on out, it's going to be a defensive zone draw for the Bison as Loyola Chicago will look to get the little offense going. Cottrell settling in for the faceoff. They will win the draw, and they'll play it on back to the point. Lynn was forced, tried to get it on goal. A little bit of a bump there. Referee says play on. That's a shot at the inside of the post and in! Never seen on the way through, but a good-looking drive there. And a shot on, and Riddell's on the board for the Bison. Time of the goal going to be the 13-minute, 58-second mark. What a shot by Riddell. And I'm not sure it was ever seen on the way through, but she will cash in anyway. Sophia Riddell, her first of the postseason, and it's an 8-1 game. Good for the Bison. Or excuse me, good for the Ramblers to get on the board. I beg your pardon. Face off back at center ice. It's going to be backhanded up. And tipped down further again as Hansen had to come right back to her. They're going to say that Riddell assisted on it, so must have hit somebody in front. Well, I don't know if anybody's really concerned about that with 5:39 on the clock. A whistle on an offensive zone face-off here coming up for the Bison. Line changes being completed here. 39-14 on the shots. 5:39 on the clock. Offensive zone draw is going to be won by the Bison. There's a drive, and that got blocked on the way through. It's loose in the crease, and that's going to be grabbed off, and we'll do it again with 5:33 on the clock now. Shots have bulged to 41-14 in favor of the Bison. Score 8-1 in favor of the Bison here as we count down day 2 of pool play in the women's ACHA Division II National Championship Tournament. Minot State has already punched their ticket into the national semifinals, but tomorrow we will have 3 big games to help determine who will be the other 3 competitors in the national semifinals. 12 teams made it to pool play, separated into 4 separate pools, and the number 1 team out of each of the 3 pools are determined to be the national champ semifinals. That's going to roll on down. Coming back to get it will be Fisher. Fisher had it poked off her stick, but she gets help by way of Johnson. Johnson's going to flip it corner and push it up to the wall, and that's going to come out even further. 2 on, maybe a 3 on 1, and they just end up shooting it in. That shoot was done by Fisher. To the far side corner boards. 7, that's number 7, Cone, helping to keep the pressure on. It's going to be squirted around to the near side corner, though. Quick little give and go. They wait, and they cycle on back. Now the Ramblers will try the other side. A little bit of a deke there. Oh, it got poked off. Look out here, and just a rushed play as it's going to be forced out to center by Knight. Held in, a drive. That was blocked, and could be a break here. Full speed ahead, coming in after it is Zinter. She tried to cut back. Collision at center. Nothing coming on that one, and now bringing it back in. Trying to dip on wide is Hansen. She ran out of real estate and played it back up the wall. Nobody home. As this game starts to get a little chippiness going here that the ref's going to let go, and that's going to be fired on in with 4:03 and counting to go in this one. Digging it out. Presquaz moved to the middle, trying to hand it off to Dorf. That shot was blocked on the way through. The follow-up comes by way of Cottrell, who will skate it out. Cottrell looks to get wide, right wing side. Cottrell all the way in, and she's just going to get canceled out into the wall, and a good defensive play, and a penalty now is upcoming. Spinning, and a shot will go wide, and finally we will get a touch-up here as it is made by Gabrielle Johnson, and it's going to be a holding call coming. Time of this penalty is going to be the 16-minute, 25-second mark. Holding call is to be the call, and this is going to go against Johnson. And a power play opportunity here for, I beg your pardon, for the Ramblers here. 5-on-4 advantage, 3:35 left on the clock. See if they can get this lead down to 6 here late in the game. And what do we got here? Well, still waiting for the penalty to get up on the board as the delay. There's a chance right off the faceoff, and now it gets to the line, not out. Good job getting over to help keep it in by Burgum. And back in their own end, Early will look to wind up. Early out of her own end, long stretch pass, didn't connect, and now it's just a little bit of a pickpocket. Coleman wants to get through. Coleman cuts through the middle. Coleman still on it, gets poked away. It's going to be Early following it up. That's thrown through the crease, and it's going to come out free onto the near side. Tapped off the boards, down the ice here. No icing as it is a penalty kill, and we have 3 minutes left in the game, 1:24 left on the kill. Looking to wind up here will be Early. Sends it in front of her bench. A little tip pass through the middle. Good read there, and striding on in are the Ramblers. That shot missed on the short side. Looking to fire it around is Hansen. She gets it to the line, and now on a follow-up, it'll get out to center ice. A little bit of a move here at center ice. That's going to be made by Burgum. She couldn't dance on through. On the backhand play, Coleman tries to backhand it in over the line. Now she soccers it ahead, but ran out of real estate, and it's going to be pitchforked back out to center, which is going to be controlled by Burgum. Winding up here is going to be Cottrell. She couldn't get through. Gives it back to Burgum. Burgum kicks it wide of that Blue Jackets logo at center. Moves in on the red line on the right wing side. And she tried to fire it in rink wide to the left wing side, but that was red, intercepted, and cleared back down the length. Behind the net, going to be corralled and brought out. Knight had it for a moment. Now they load up. Poked away as it works into the corner. As it was forced there before Burgum could get out, and we're going to get a penalty upcoming here. And I think we're going to hold the an interference is going to be the call. So we're going to go 4 aside for 13 seconds, and then a power play for the Bison. Interference again, the call. Burgum off. Time of this call is going to be the 18-minute and 11-second mark. Bison with the offensive zone faceoff. We play 4 aside. It gets on over, and it's going to be spiked down in further by Cone. Down below into the near side corner. 3-on-2 battle in the corner. It's going to be dug out by Chicago. And Loyola Chicago will now look to accelerate through. They are shorthanded as that's going to be shot in and just kind of tipped into the corner by Slater. Now played on around. Follow-up comes by way of this, number 3, Lull Speech. Lead feed is a good one, and with a little time and space, Johnson tries to get on through. It's rolled in and on, and it'll be held there with 1:11 to go in an 8-1 third period. 1:22 remains on the penalty clock. .42, or excuse me, 42-15 on the shots on goal. To the top of the circle, looking to wheel it back in and able to get it deep was Lull Speech, and that's going to be cleared down the ice. Coming out to play it will be Slater, as she will just fire it around the far side corner. Dorf looking to help out, and it was just quickly thrown towards the front of the cage. As we've hit the last minute, O'Brien tried to get that in front, and now it's safely carried back out by Hansen. She'll gain the zone, move it on in, got a little bump for her trouble. Ends up down on the ground as we get a dig out here, and trying to dig it out is Rachel Johnson. It works its way over to the near side point. They send it rink wide where Gabrielle Johnson has it. Top of the circle, tried to send it through, and it just didn't connect. And it looked like Dorf was on the backside of that play. 26 and counting here, as that's going to glance off the glove of Hansen and go out of play. 23.7 on the clock, 34 to go on the power play should it matter. 8-1 our score. Offensive zone face-off for the Bison. Rachel Johnson will settle in for it here against Loyola Chicago's Cottrell. They try to kick it on through, cannot. Banked it back to the boards with room, a rising shot, and boy, she got every inch of that puck, did Hansen. It gets the back glass. 11 seconds left in the period. They throw it to the middle again. Hansen, a rolling puck, and that gets deflected away. 5 seconds remain. Sent on off down low. Do they work it back up high? Nope, it's just pinned to the corner, and that is how this one will end. The Bison skate away. They get a big victory here, and that sets up a big game against Delaware tomorrow as pool play continues. We have 6 games on tap for the ACHA Division II Women's National Championship. Looking forward to those games tomorrow. But as of tonight, an 8-1 victory by the Bison will wrap this one up. Thank you so much for joining us here. I'm Thomas Biano signing off on the ACHA YouTube Network. Thank you so much for joining us.